there are different seasons, you know, and I know there's been seasons where we were able to both be out there building together, and you know, we had our oldest daughter at home who was able to watch the younger kids, or, you know, everything. Your lives are always changing, so don't think that what it is right now is what it's always going to be. I think about, you know, our youngest is going to turn 12, and we're going to go into a new season when it comes to how we work together and how we build the business together, because my job is going to change with the kids. Even though I homeschool, you know, it's going to change as they get older, and so you need to just be aware that it's always changing, and that you can communicate that your role is valuable. I think it's sad, you know, how much we compare ourselves. And the Bible says when we compare ourselves among ourselves, we're not wise. And we aren't. If I compare myself to some of the women who are out there building the business, I can start to feel like I'm not enough. And yeah, that Cesar would rather have somebody like that for his wife. And you just can't let your mind go there. You need to speak truth and avoid those kind of lies, avoid comparison.
Yeah, and the fact is that we're not supposed to be the same. Somebody thinks, oh, we're supposed to be compatible, so we're going to run together. And there's a couple that I follow on Instagram. They're great business builders. I think they're making a great impact with what they're doing, but they're very young. They're 26 or so. And he was talking about how I like my wife to be running right side by side with me. And she said, yeah, I told him I wouldn't marry him until he's worth $1 million. And I just thought, there are things that are more valuable than money. And there are things that are more valuable than having somebody to compete with, almost even if it's a healthy competition. It's actually a compliment. Somebody should compliment you. If you are different than your spouse, that's actually good. Because I don't want someone that's like me. How boring is that? I want somebody who is different than me. That's going to give me a different perspective than what I would have. And
the more you understand your spouse, the more you're going to understand the people that you're working with in your business, because they're not going to all be like you. And you're going to have the leadership to recognize, you know, how do they see things? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And it's going to be different than yours, just like it is in your marriage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. Well, let's see. I don't know. It's like people are joining I don't know who they are, and I can't trust them or what they're going to be saying. Okay, so the last point, be flexible. So first of all, make sure you have the same goal as a couple, long-term, spiritually, as a relationship, as a family, with your business. How is that business helping you achieve that goal? Number two, make sure you understand and accept that you have different roles in building your business. And number three, be flexible. Be flexible. Be humble. Communicate. Acknowledge, like you said, there are different seasons. Like when 15 years ago, I mean, we had done the Amway business 20 years ago when we were in Mexico.
Yeah, and that was the first model where we saw couples working together, and that really appealed to us.
Yeah. Yeah, but then when we stopped doing that business, we moved back to the U.S. We weren't involved in network marketing anymore, and it wasn't until somebody offered you the Arbonne business, which is cosmetics, skincare, nutrition too.
Yeah, and I first wasn't interested, and then I think it appealed to me that the person that was having success, like I saw her personality kind of similar to mine, and her husband was more of the extrovert. She was a little more introverted, and she was having so much success, and her husband was very supportive. And so we finally looked at it together and said, yeah, I think that we should do this. But I heard we should do this, but knowing that I was going to be the one actively building and going out there and working with the product with women. And so that's what happened. And I got started, and because of our experience with Amway, I felt like I knew what it was going to take, and I knew I would have to do things that were out of my comfort zone, you know. So I was pushing myself, and I felt so proud of myself because I started to have success. And I was creating great relationships with a lot of wonderful women. And I thought Cesar was all on board and happy about it, you know. And I remember being home sometimes together, and I'd be in the office working and thinking and strategizing or making calls, and I would get this feeling like, you know, I should go just hang out with Cesar. But in my mind, I started saying, well, I'm doing something more important. And he's just watching TV right now. You know, I need to do this important work. And that was wrong. You know, the most important work was on our relationship and spending time together. So we realized, you know, I'm thankful, you know, God showed us we had some problems that we had to deal with. And I had to stop building that business to focus on our marriage. And it was the best decision that we could make.
And the problem is that we were not communicating. We were not, we were afraid to be completely open. I was afraid to be completely open because initially I thought, am I a chauvinistic macho man, or why I'm not going to allow my wife to build a business while I support what she does at home? But really inside it was bothering me. It was bothering me that I had a job that I was providing through that job for our main needs, and then she was creating that supposedly to bring freedom to us, but I didn't really see how it would fit. I would fit within that, and I resented that fact. I felt it like a competition. And there are a lot of network marketing companies where there's a subculture of you being a part of a team, and then almost if your spouse is not involved in the team activities or what they're doing, it creates this unhealthy competition where now there's jealousy and there is who's more important, them or me. And it shouldn't be like that. You can solve it by communicating. And if the other person's not going to be building, bring him with you. And if that's not enough, you did that with me. You had me go with you to some of the events. And I was just like, oh no, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. It was, you know, what we know is that no business causes the problems in your relationship. There are things in your relationship that are going to come out because of the new pressures of a business, you know. But what you have to be committed to is working on those things, working on yourself, growing together. And what I appreciate now is that we have committed to, you know, whatever season we're in, how much I'm out there as the builder or not, that we're going to events together. We're going to get the big vision together. We're going to have time to talk about how we're going to work that out with the goals that we have for our family, for our marriage, you know, how to fit things together. And it's constantly changing, you know, but you have to be involved. It can't just, I don't think it can be like totally his thing or totally her thing, because it is a big part of your life, and it takes sacrifice. And so you have to, you need to work together to make it happen.
Constant communication, constant priorities, just like we talked a couple of episodes ago about the example with the big rocks. You know, make sure that in that available time that you have, in that empty jar where you have a few big rocks, God, your spouse, and then your children, make sure you put them in together. And if something's coming out of order, talk about it. If something's coming between the relationship, talk about it. Because what John Maxwell says, as you climb a ladder or you want to go and have success in anything, make sure that that ladder, before you start climbing, is not leaning against the wrong wall. Because why shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Why shall it profit a man to gain the whole world, get to the top rank of your company, and lose your family? Well, I think that's it. We're going to leave it out like that. And I'm going to figure out a password so hackers can't get into it to disturb it. Thanks for those of you that are checking this out. Share with somebody that you know is building a business and would like to improve their relationship in that business. And subscribe to our channel, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Cesar and Pam, and our website.
Yeah, cesarandpam.com. You can live the life you've dreamed, a life of freedom.
Okay, see you on the next one. Oh, next week we're going to be talking about how to build together as a family. We have a family that is actually with the two teenagers, 18, 16-year-old. They want to build together their network marketing business. So we're going to give you tips on what we think about that. I think we actually made a lot of mistakes in that area. We're still learning, and we can save you a lot of time, a lot of headache and heartache. So see you in the next one.